What's up? It's WiLD941, wild941.com. Joey Franchize here, and I'm with an e-gamer right now, NBA 2 League player, official, man. I never even knew, like, how deep, like, this world was until, like, you know, I saw you, and I have a couple friends that are actually in it as well. But we got Tim, O'Larry 2K, Anselimo with us today, dog. What's poppin', G? Not bad, man. We are here, and yo, how long have you been doing this, bro?
I've been playing video games for almost 10 years. Competitively 2K for probably like 6 now. So it's been a long time coming. Gaming's came a long way.
No, for sure. And yo, last year was actually the first year the NBA got involved and created their, you know, their gaming league for 2K. What was it like, man? Just being drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks?
Right. It's a crazy experience, man. The draft was in the Garden, so you know
Awesome.
it just gives you that experience that you just feel like you're, you know, being brought into a brotherhood, which the NBA is, and it's just a crazy experience. It's surreal, man. Just hearing your name called, going on the stage, shaking Adam Silver's hand, like you just really feel like you just made the NBA.
Dog, that's one hell of an experience right there. Now, like, I mean, what goes through your head when those situations happen? Like, did you ever have aspirations like to play sports and like, you know what I mean, and be drafted like that? So
yeah, so I'm from Brooklyn and I play high school basketball in New York.
Okay.
I played against Maurice Harkless, who's on the Blazers now. I played against Kemba, and like, you know, just basketball was just in my blood since young. So it kind of like just the love of the game just kind of translated over to video games.
Now I remember 2K from back like Sega Dreamcast days. Like I've been, yeah, Iverson, the iconic cover. Like when did your, you know, love for 2K come about?
I think I started playing 2K on the original Xbox console, which was probably like 2K4 maybe, 2K5, something like that. So yeah, just ever since then, it's just, you know, every year you get ready, release day, and you know, now everything's digital, but back then we used to stand in line and GameStop, midnight releases, yeah, so 2K's came a long way, gaming in general, man, so I mean, it's just crazy to think about where it'll be 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
Exactly, man, especially, you know, the way it's going right now. I just saw what Ninja is the first e-gamer to reach 10 million followers on Twitch. Or something like that?
Yeah,
like,
his milestones are crazy. He's got like 20 million on YouTube, a crazy amount on Twitch. Like he's setting the bar for us. So the better he does, the better for all of us. So
no doubt. Now, what motivates you, like when you go into these things? Cause you're a real competitive dude, man. I seen your videos and you talking track to people. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, just when you're from Brooklyn, it's just basketball.
Natural.
The basketball trash talk is natural. Like I just want you to know you're not better than me every time. I want you to know you can't guard me. So it's all motivation to just be the best no matter what you do.
I mean, I dig that a lot, man. And you know, with 2K being as big as it is now, like how can you, you know, break down like some of the things that go on, and like what are your favorite features that are coming up, like as there's a new one every year?
I just think that the way that the game has expanded as far as the experience goes for just the casual players that just want to go out and have fun, so like the different park experiences. Normally on the weekends they do different games, which is like, you know, King of the Courts or Best Crew, which is, you know, you and your friends have to duke it out to the end. Whoever is the last crew standing gets a certain amount of, you know, VC. So they just make the game real fun every year with different type of events and experiences for casual players.
No, it definitely is crazy, and I'm terrible right now in the park, man. Nobody ever want to play with me, bro. It sucks. But I do love my career. I mean, right now I'm, you know, building my player up, playing for the Knicks right now. Who do you currently play for? Like when you were, before you got into the league, who was like your team to like really use, or, you know, you put your player in?
In my career, well, this year I have a bunch of my different players to play different positions, but I put each of them on the Lakers.
Okay, and, my team.
One is because I'm a Bron fan, but two, you know, when you're trying to get your player better in that mode and get badges and stuff, you have Rondo, LeBron, and Lonzo Ball all with like the Dimer badge. So when they pass it to you, you have a good chance of making it. So it makes it a little bit easier on yourself. It's just a little trick.
That's cool. And your preference is what, center right now in the league?
I played center all last year. I was the leading scorer coming out the gate in the tip-off tournament, and I eventually just, you know, tried different positions for the better of the team. I played point guard at one point. I played small forward at one point. So whatever really the team needs going into this year, we have another guy who's really good at center on our team. And so it just really whatever, you know, after we draft the rest of our team in February, just whatever else the team needs is where I'll be. I'm just trying to win.
Right. And it's great. Well, we're here once again with Tim and Anselimo, O'Larry 2K. on NBA 2K, part of the NBA 2K League. You have a great support system with you, man. I saw actually a video of like your pops, like, you know what I mean? Like really cheering in the background, and like it's nuts to have like your family there, bro, like, and support what you're doing. Now, let me just say, like, you know, my family's been supportive for me for a lot of things, but never video games. So it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's always my mom trying to get me out the house. Like, why are you playing video games? Go play ball or something like that. I mean, how was it, your family's, you know, support, like, huge in you pursuing this?
Well, when it first was announced, and only like the real competitive players knew about it at first, and I tried to explain it to them, it didn't seem real, you know, to tell them that 17 of the 30 NBA franchises are basically creating their own esports team and drafting players to represent them. They just were just like, you know, why? It's a video game. Who's going to pay you a salary to play a video game? Or they just, for everybody, it didn't seem real at first. And then once obviously more news came about and you saw it on news channels and ESPN and different social media outlets, that everybody's like, okay, this thing's for real. And the NBA treats it just like another one of its leagues. Obviously, you know, they have the G League, the WNBA, the NBA, and then it's us. Like, Adam Silver will tell you every day that we're the NBA's 4th league, and, you know, we're just part of the family.
I just want to say it's dope that, you know, you being in Tampa, and Tampa Bay's own John Henson, who played for the Milwaukee Bucks, were like part of that same world as far as, you know, Milwaukee and the franchise. And yo, you guys actually get treated like actual players, and you get the perks of players. So explain to me what last season was all about, dude, because I saw that you was, what, courtside and stuff like that, the playoff games?
Yeah, last season was a crazy experience, and it's just unforgettable, man. A lot of it's the stuff you can't even explain, just from the way that they had us living, treating us like, you know, like we were real NBA players, like we were just part of the Bucks family. Courtside at playoff games, you know, meeting players. A lot of the Bucks actually lived in our building. You know, I met DJ Wilson, Brandon Jennings, Jason Terry. Like, we all lived in the same building, so we talked to each other. And the crazy part is you'd be surprised, but a lot of the NBA players are really interested in what we do.
Right.
They asked us, you know, a good amount of questions about how did we make it, how good do we have to be. So they're just as interested as we are in them.
No, that's awesome, and I feel like it's dope that it goes hand in hand like that, because, you know, who was it? I think it was a few players actually saying how 2K actually helps them, or the game is just so advanced to the point where it helps them like prepare for whoever they're facing against, because he's looking at everybody's like attributes in the game. So like, do they ever like give you advice on how to approach a game from their standpoint?
It's weird, like, just when that, like, the game is obviously so, you know, advanced as far as the physics and things, the way it works. The AIs are so smart in the game, you know, they know when you're on a fast break, when to cut and when not to cut and things like that. So, I mean, it definitely relates to the NBA, but as far as like them trying to, you know, it also has, it's almost like a whole different world. So like, I know a lot of guys that are competitive basketball players in real life or NBA players, and when they get on the sticks, they lose by 30, 40 every time. It's just, it's a whole different world.
And, you know, has like seeing like, you know, Kemba, and you like, you know, you played against these guys, you know, back in the day when you were living in New York. Do you know Kemba's game a little bit better than he does off of the game? Have you played with him at all? Like, is there anybody that you used to play against that you played with?
Yeah, just playing on here, like Portland's a good team to use, so I've used Harkless, and you know, he looks on the game how I remember him, seeing him in person. The same thing with Kemba. Kemba, they actually recently just raised his ratings because he's been killing in the NBA, killing. So it's cool, man. Like I said, just seeing the little things, like these guys' signature celebrations after hitting a three, you know, whether it's a chest pump or, you know, just some type of celebration after a big shot. Just the game just mirrors everything of the NBA, and they work so hard on it, updating it weekly on little things, you know, headbands, tattoos, just little signature things that really separate, you know, a good game from a great game.
Now, when you play this game, and obviously you get a VC, I don't know what kind of perks you get because you're a 2K League player, but I mean, my habit is making my player like look good on the court by copping the kicks and copping the gear and stuff like that at the NBA store. What do you mostly spend your VC on?
I just always get Cavs gear on my guy, first of all. You know, just make sure he's got a Cavs hoodie, some sweats or something simple. Because a lot of guys, when you see them in the park, they like to have a whole, you know, fit on, kind of like something like what you're wearing.
If you ain't looking good, you know, if you look good, you play good.
Yeah, guys in the park like to have Timbs on, and they want you to know that they got a Balmain T-shirt on and things like that. So
Right.
I'm coming to hoop. I got a Cavs hoodie on and some sweats on and some Nikes on, and I'm coming to hoop. I don't like to get my guy too fancy. I just save the VC to make sure I got all my stats up.
So ball up whenever you see O'Larry 2K on that 2K, man, for real. Now, let's touch upon the situation. I mean, there was an unfortunate situation in Jacksonville, which actually had your gaming career on limbo. And thank God, you pulled through, and you're currently going through therapy as we speak. What was that like, man? Just knowing that, the doctor telling you that there's a possibility that your gift and your talent could, this couldn't be a thing probably anymore. Like, what was that situation like?
It's hard. It's hard to hear, man, because the way everything happened and me, getting shot 3 times, it was just like, obviously at first I thought from the amount of blood I lost, I didn't even think I was going to be alive to even play again. Excuse me. And after they told me that I wasn't hit crucially, that I'm going to survive, I looked over at my hand and I knew I was shot right around my thumb, and I asked the doctor right away, once I knew I was going to live, I said, am I ever going to be able to play video games again? And they looked at me and laughed because they didn't understand, so they were just like, you got some damage there, I'm not sure, so you'll have to wait for some x-rays and, a specialist. So there was a good couple of days where I was waiting on x-rays and surgeries and things, and I was just like, man, I hope this isn't the end. So it was tough because, again, when you have such an opportunity like this that you worked hard for, something that you dreamed of, playing 2K for so long, you wished you could be a pro when you were younger. Now that there's something like this where you can be a pro and you train hard and you play 8 to 10 hours a day to get better, it's a craft, it's a career, it's a job. So it's just like you put so much into it for it to be taken away that fast by a stranger, essentially. It was definitely scary.
And you were worried too, once everything, once you left the hospital and you were going through your therapy, what was next? Because I mean, you were pretty much a free agent at that point, and you got a phone call from the team you're actually rocking right now, Cleveland Cavs. What was that phone call like?
Oh man, it was cool, man. It was cool. It was just like, when I went through everything, obviously, being a little bit frustrated that I wasn't retained by the Bucks because I felt like I was our best player, and statistically I was our best player. I just felt like, they gave up on me because of what happened to me. So I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder. So I even told my family in the hospital, I just told my mom, I was like, all I need is just one team, one organization to believe in me. So when my manager now with the Cavs, Anthony, called me, he was like, you ready to come to Cleveland? I said, man, make it happen. Let's do it. Because it's just all the motivation that I needed. So here I am and just fighting through it.
That's awesome. Now, if you see the Bucks this season, is it going to be one of them games where you're going to throw up like 50 or something? Oh,
man. Yeah, they're getting at least 40. And they're losing by at least 20. At least 20. It's nothing personal. Some of the guys on the team are still cool with me, and the managers. At the end of the day, it's just competitiveness,
Exactly.
For that 30 minutes, 40 minutes that we're enemies, it's nothing personal.
Now, did it bother you in a sense? I mean, obviously you're happy that, you're on a team, you're with Cleveland, but did it bother you in a sense being a LeBron fan that LeBron was not going to come back to Cleveland?
Yeah, it's funny, man. I got posters of LeBron in my room, and I mean, I got LeBron 16s on now. Yeah, I got a bunch of LeBrons and a bunch of LeBron gear and stuff, and people know that's been my favorite player for the last 16 years, so it's just like, once everybody saw I went to Cleveland, my grandfather was even like, man, too bad you didn't go last year when he was still there. So I was just like, yeah, it's tough, but it's fun. It's funny. And then I had asked my manager from the Cavaliers, I said, hey, can you bring me out to the Lakers versus Cavs game in Cleveland? He goes, I'm not going to bring you out so you can root for the Lakers, because he knows I'm a LeBron fan, so it's funny.